Hello and welcome to another episode of Gotham Sound TV. I am very excited to be talking to Glenn Sanders from Zaxcom. Glenn is going to be telling us about his new IFB product. Tell me what you got.
Well, I think we have something really revolutionary. There's not a lot of times I can bring out something and say, I think it's a game changer, but we have something called the URX50 with an associated wireless GUI system that runs on a browser platform. So you can access it with any iPhone, Android phone, iOS tablet, really anything to remote control any number of these URX50s or our legacy URX100 IFB receiver. And there's a whole lot of power in this system that is just revolutionary and really transforming to the industry.
Awesome. Before we get into it, for those viewers that don't know the purpose of an IFB system, what is an IFB system?
Well, an IFB system is basically a wireless receiver system, which traditionally has been used to take IFB audio or program audio, the audio that's being mixed as a single track, and provide that to the crew, to the director, to script supervisors, to everyone that needs to, have that audio available to them in order to properly analyze how a scene is being shot and how the actors' performances are being perceived.
Uh-huh. And so how does this product, what sets this product apart?
Well, I say that the very, very unique feature is the use of our control GUI, where because it's digital transmission, we transmit audio and control signals at the same time from the same transmitter so that we don't have to touch the packs. So now that we have this situation where so many productions don't want multiple people on set handling the same devices, we're able to remote control these packs in a way that eliminates that need. We're able to set up multiple channels. We're able to set up permissions for who can monitor what. We're able actually to find packs. There's a feature called Find Me, which allows you to activate an internal speaker that will allow you to find a pack that's lost on set.
That's amazing. That happens all the time, usually at hour number 15 when everybody needs you to clear off the
Oh
set.
yeah. Well, we can demo that as
All right,
well.
good, good, good.
But the speaker also allows you to play the audio through it. So if you have a situation where you can put it in Video Village or some area where people are monitoring this offset, you can activate the speaker in order to have them listen without headphones, which is great because obviously if you can do that, then one pack is going to take care of a few people monitoring at the same time. It also has the ability to automatically switch from headphones to speaker just by unplugging the headphones. It knows that they have been unplugged. So that's another great feature that it has. Like our former ERX, we've also put a 1 kilohertz tone feature in here, which you can use or not use. And if you end up using it and accidentally feed 1 kilohertz tone out the IFB, the packs will basically filter that tone out. So it would be as if you weren't sending tone at all. So no one's going to get hit with 1K tone that's wearing one of these packs if you turn on that feature.
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
Something else it does is it runs for about 10 hours on AA batteries. So you get basically a full day of operation out of it, of course, with the ability to instantly change the batteries in the middle of the day. So that makes it very practical as well. We also have a 2-unit plug-in charger. With that, you could have the crew in charge of their own chargers, or you can have the chargers located somewhere where they can just plug the packs in and unplug them. Again, making it so that the production sound crew doesn't have to touch these packs. That when I say the crew, I mean different people other than the one person that is in charge of it. So there's a lot of functionality here. And we also have voting in here as well, meaning that you could take multiple transmitters and put them at different areas that might be visited physically by people using these packs, and they will automatically figure out what transmitter they need to listen to.
And so, for example, people needing very wide range or going from very locations that are spread out over a distant area, or even just different zones,
Correct.
you can essentially have unlimited range. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, unlimited is a little unfair, but
Wherever you can put a transmitter.
yeah,
And does it work in a way similar to, say, an intercom belt pack, where you have to pair the receivers, and then once they're paired, they, as soon as they power on, they sort of download their configuration, or they see their configuration? Is that?
well, there's no pairing.
Hmm.
However, the way it does work is you can have it set up so that when you do switch the packs on, they will search out the data channel. The idea being that when you power it up, it's going to go to the data channel that it had last time. And if you haven't changed that, it's just going to go to the data channel. It's going to download the current configuration, and you're good to go. And that takes only a few seconds. If you have changed the data channel's frequency, when you boot the pack up, it's going to say, I don't see that data channel. And it's going to scan for that data channel, which takes maybe about 5 seconds. Could be a lot less too if it just finds it quickly. And when it finds the data channel, it will download it, and away you go. So in that aspect, I guess it's probably similar to the way an intercom works.
And in terms of, while we're talking frequencies, again, this is a UHF unit. This is not some kind of 2.4 gig
Right.
compared with all the other
Yeah,
2.4 gig stuff.
that's right. You're matching a Zaxcom transmitter. The transmitter that you would use currently to run the system would be our camera link transmitter, where in this configuration, it'll transmit a basic program single channel of audio and the data channel. So those will go to the packs. If you have any other channel, any other transmitter, which is a Zaxcom stereo transmitter, you can have that stereo transmitter transmitting, again, program audio. You can have it transmit intercom audio as well, that maybe the sound department can only monitor the intercom audio, or a mix of intercom and program audio.
Tell me about the components of just the standalone IFB system.
The system is comprised of the following things. You can use it with what we call the URX50, which is the new receiver. The differences between the URX50 and the URX100 is that URX50, most importantly, has a speaker built into it, which allows us to monitor audio without headphones and allows us to find the unit through the Find Me feature in the GUI. It also has a antenna that is basically part of the unit. It does not unscrew. And there's no there's no walkie interface here. So this is really designed for the crew, really just for monitoring, where the URX100 basically gives you the walkie interface. It gives you time code output. It's a more of a sound department version. And the cost difference, this would be less expensive. The URX50 is less expensive than the URX100.
So in the context of, so in the context of when you say that it's the URX50 that's designed for the crew, you mean just general crew, like a camera operator or an AD who needs to queue extras, that kind of crew, and certainly a director that and the fancy adult above the line people.
Yes, the above the line people would get a URX50, with maybe the audio department getting the URX100s.
Amazing.
So on a URX50, you're able to actually not output time code, but you can actually display it. So if you are displaying code, you would be able to see that. And then if you're using a Zaxcom recorder, you'll eventually, once we get it in, be able to put the scene intake metadata on the display as well. So a script supervisor would do very well with one of these units, being able to monitor, see the time code, and see the scene intake metadata.
That's really amazing. Good. Tell me a little bit more about the walkie interface, just to remind us all why is that nifty?
Yeah. On the URX100, it has a TA5 on the side, and you can plug in a walkie-talkie and basically use this to monitor the walkie's audio as well as the program audio that's received by the URX100. There's a control lanyard that allows you to have a push to talk button, basically anywhere you clip it to your shirt. So you're not sitting there with two sets of headphones and constantly flipping one headphone cup off to use a walkie-talkie. It makes it kind of into a combination IFB receiver and intercom by adding the walkie-talkie feature.
Amazing. All right. Now I'm really interested in the GUI for this. Now we've seen products on the market where they have GUIs, but they're Bluetooth controlled, which means that I'm limited in my range. So first of all, am I limited in range with your product? And if so, what are those limitations?
Well, basically, there's two things going on when it comes to controlling. You're going to use your phone as the source of information. So in other words, you've got a GUI running on a phone just like this, where I can go and have my frequency control. I can have my channel assignment control. I can have all these things here, and I can also through this GUI, if I go into find my URX, I can turn this on, and the URX on my desk is announcing this is where I am.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So you've got this talking directly to a small computer, which that's what this is, and we call this the Zaxnet GUI bridge.
All right. So when you say talking to, what's the medium?
The medium is Wi-Fi.
Okay, got it.
It is not Bluetooth. So you're going to get some pretty darn good coverage on the Wi-Fi. And in fact, you'll be able to utilize things to extend that coverage, like different switches and what have you that
Perfect.
have more.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, again, a lot of the products that I've had to deal with, they are their own Wi-Fi access point, and they don't play nice in infrastructure mode.
Right. We're developing, yeah, we're developing this to play nice, but we're talking directly to this. Depending upon how crazy things are on 2.4, you could probably get coverage 50 to 100 feet away from this, depending upon whether you're inside, outside, or what's going on. But the important thing with this box is it's talking Wi-Fi to your phone or tablet or whatever it happens to be. And there's a hardwired cable plugged into the camera link transmitter, the Zaxcom CL3, that is broadcasting the production sound and the control data to every one of the packs on the talent. So, not talent, but the crew. So if the crew can hear the IFB, they're under remote control. So, it's not a situation where you have a Bluetooth set up and you're only going to get, 5 feet. That is not going to happen with this system. This system is designed for long range coverage. It is designed to be professional and commercial and, to get the job done. I mean, basically.
Amazing. And so let's dig in. What's the first thing that I see when I go load the GUI?
Okay. Well, the first thing you see or should see is the setup screen where we can tell the system how many frequencies are accessible. In this case, there are 8. We can tell it how many URX devices we have. If we're going to use voting, we tell it what the voting offset is, so that if we turn voting on, whatever frequency you're on, it knows to look for a frequency that is offset by this much. So it knows what frequencies to vote to. So we thought that was a really good way to set it up. We have encryption for the system.
And the advantage of voting, just in case people are new to this idea, I mean, not talking democratic terms, but in terms of RF coverage, we can cover large areas with multiple zones of transmitters. Is that fair to say?
Exactly right, Peter. For instance, if you had a situation where you're setting up a show where you had a couple of sound bags and you had a director walking from bag to bag, you could set up the director's unit so that it would automatically switch to whatever bag it was in the coverage range of, so they wouldn't even have to worry about that.
Yeah,
So,
it's an amazing feature because I'm used to voting in the context of two-way radios. where you're trying to set up wide area coverage. To my knowledge, this is the only IFB system specifically that has that feature.
Yeah, it is very similar to what you're familiar with two-way radios. Absolutely. So you can also set the encryption here for the system, and you can also set the channel delay, meaning that if you set a channel delay here, and I can, let's say, set it for 60 milliseconds, okay, if I do that, any channel that is designated to have delay will be delayed by 60 milliseconds. So that's what we have going on here in basically the system menu. Once you configure the system, you can then go to the individual menus to control it. This is the frequency menu, where I can take any transmitter that's worn by anyone in the system, and I can enter the frequency in so that it can be monitored by any number of the URX receivers. Now, I also set the system up so that I can turn delay off or on any channel, and I can also allow it to vote. So if voting is on, and I know that voting is set up for a 0.5 megahertz offset, the system would look for two different frequencies to vote to. In this case, it's 550.5 right here, or a 549.5. And they are also set for voting on, so that if those frequencies went away, it would look to vote back to the other channels. So that's how we set up voting in the system. That's how we set up delay. We can now go to the headphone menu, where we can take URX50s on an individual basis and determine who can monitor what. For instance, on the first one, I can determine whether it's going to hear the left side of a stereo signal or the right side, or a mix of the two, or frankly, neither. I also can determine whether the speaker in the unit is allowed to be on. If I disable the speaker, then nothing you can do would be able to activate that speaker locally. So that's speaker control. When we look at one of the URX100s, if I click on that, there's a bit more routing, because the URX100 actually has a stereo headphone feed, so I can determine what channels go to those headphones and how it goes there. And I also determine how the walkie is routed to the headphones as well. So all of that is remote controllable through the headphone routing. If I go to the next menu, this is the permission menu. This is where I can take a unit and tell the unit what it's allowed to monitor. So since I have 8 channels in the system, this first one is only allowed to monitor channel 1. If I go to the boom, maybe I want the boom to listen to channel 1, and maybe I'll also let it listen to channel 2 as well. And maybe another boom would listen to channel 1 and only, let's try that again, 1 and 3. So you've got boom 1 listening to the program and its own boom, then number 2 listening to the program and the boom 2. So all of this routing is done remotely, which is just really great. There's a little utility menu here that allows you to name each one of the packs. So when you give a pack out, the pack will actually have the name up on the pack, and I can come in here and I can rename the pack, and I can also tell the system whether it's a URX50 or a URX100. Now, this little radar icon here, this is where we do the find me. So basically, I'm able to, on any given pack, if I know that that pack is lost, I can click on the pack and I can turn the locator sound on, and then I should be able to hear from the set the beeping sound that would lead me right to the pack. Of course, the pack has to be on, and it has to be able to monitor the data channel in order to be found. So there are a little bit of things that have to happen here for that to work properly. But if it's on the set and it's on, you activate it, you're going to hear it. And you could actually all at the same time adjust all, or turn the sound on all the lost packs at one time. So this way, if you don't know which pack is lost, you just turn them all on, and you're able to hopefully find that pack. And we have a little icon here just to tell you that you're talking to the interface computer, the GUI computer,
The bridge.
the bridge. Yeah, so it'll tell you that you're good on that. And we also have a little question mark here, um, which will have some manual things in the guide at a future point. So basically, that's the GUI.
That's really pretty amazing and very, very unique. Superior sound quality, superior range, remote controllability, voting, all of the things that we've seen other RF products be able to do now applies for the first time in the IFB world.
The really important part of this system is the whole remote control thing and basically utilizing the tools available to us today to bring IFB into the 21st century and to produce the first IFB system truly tailor-made for film and television production. Not simply getting audio from point A to point B, but getting audio there with the same quality that is available in post-production and being able to let people, truly judge uh, audio in a way that they can't do with current analog IFB systems.
Yeah, I think that that's incredible. I mean, with one pack, I can listen to the main mix. I can listen to any mixture of transmitters, as long as I have the right permissions, in a way that's encrypted, and in a way that my sound department can control remotely. I think that this is really an amazing product.
We set out basically to totally redefine what an IFB is. We wanted to make a system that was usable in the simplest bag applications to basically the most complex cart-based or studio situations where you had to have a large number of packs. Maybe you had people wandering from place to place that had to listen to different things. Maybe you have multiple sound bags in a wide open application. With this system, you can easily deploy it to handle all of these situations and very easily configure it remotely with any phone or tablet or computer. So we knew we had to make something different and unique. And we also knew that it had to be, very cost effective if it was going to take off in our market. So we really worked hard to keep the price on the system down and to make something that we knew would be a really great system offering great range and superior audio quality.
That's amazing. Glenn Sanders, it's great to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time. Congratulations on basically taking IFB to the next level. This is very exciting.
Thank you, Peter. I'm honored to be here with you and to be able to bring this product out. And I think our industry will really like this.
Me too. All right. Signing off for now. See you next time. Stay healthy and safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Take care.